डॉक्टर हिरल शाह. हिंदी में बोलूँ या इंग्लिश में या whatever? English.
English.
Or English. Okay, fine. For last around 15 years, I'm into naturopathy, clinical naturopathy, and in research also, dietetic research and clinical naturopathy. Currently, I'm associated with Navjeevan Global Heart Center. It's a research center basically. We do advanced research in medical side as well as dietetic side as well as natural side on diabetes, on heart, on cancer, on kidney diseases, arthritis, and we have studied or we study the causative or the reasons for diseases. Okay, generally this is a neglected subject. Whenever you go to a doctor, whenever you go for with your problem to anybody, they generally try to solve your problem. Okay. We study at our level the origin of the problem, why you are suffering, what reason you are suffering. Because if we don't know why you are suffering, it will be endless journey kind of. Symptomatic treatment, what others are doing, will be doing the same thing. Okay. So we are allopath basically, high-end allopathy we follow, along with the dietetic research, your food and the holistic treatment kind, everything we cover. Your food, the herbs and whatever the factors which are making you sick, as well as all the things, all the medicines, all the herbs, all the food which can cure you or which can make you well. So with this, before starting the main session of arthritis today, which I will be just taking up as dietetic part as well as a natural part only, I'll just give you some introduction about what we are currently doing. Before starting our session, main session, I want to narrate you a small incident which happened around 6 years, 7 years back in our clinic. As I told you, we are high-end allopath and treat heart patients. Nearly 25,000 heart patients have been treated non-operatively with success rate of 98%. So out of 100, 98 people completely recovered without operation kind of. So what happened one day, one good lady, age around 60, she was treated for heart problem and very nicely she came out of the heart symptoms and everything and she was fine. But her sugar was not coming under control. Something like she used to cross 450, she used to reach up to 500 and she used to take insulin 3 times a day. And at high doses, around 40 units she used to take. But heart problem was solved, but sugar was not coming under control. And one day she had again walked into the clinic with around 480 sugar, and she has like submissively she said, now you have to help us out. Okay, help her out. Fine. So my senior doctor, Dr. Javed Guru, head Dr. M.G. Desai, he was also confused in the sense we were concerned about her, like why the problem is not getting solved. And it was kind of insulin resistant diabetes was developed in her body. The tablets were failing, insulin was failing, everything was failing in her case. And she used to follow each and every advice. She used to avoid lot of food, no sugar, no, you can say no carb, no potatoes, no rice kind of diet, whatever diabetic people are following. And exercise also she used to do, a lean body she had. Still sugar used to move out of her. So what doctor thought that day, Dr. M.G. Desai, I just showed this week. He is MBBS, MD and a scientist. Okay, so scientist in the sense, there is always a research involved with whatever we do. He said, Hiral, today let us keep her on potatoes and rice. Just imagine that lady who had come with sugar 480. We have all documented research. We have keep all the documents with us. So sugar level 480, and we had kept her for 24 hours on potatoes and rice only. And next day, her sugar came down to 150. And we had to stop insulin from the very next day. And it's around 6 years, she is doing very fine. Sugar is totally under control. Okay. From that day, for last 6 years onwards, we started this dietetic research in depth. It's very much different what we understand the disease or what we understand the diet. Yes, sir. It is never a disease-wise diet. Okay. What was the problem with her and how we could solve the problem was her body type was not of wheat type or not of dal type. Her body type, her body was not digesting wheat. The body was not digesting pulses. And as a diabetic patient, she was devoid of carbohydrates, she was devoid of, you can say, rice, and her body type was rice type. Okay. So rice, her body was easily digesting, and the things which were not digested were remaining or were floating as a free sugar in her body. So with this particular section or with this case in hand, we started studying every cases from the dietetic view also. It's been around 3,000–4,000 cases we have studied till now, and when we see that if we are changing, or if we have found out around 9 types of body. आयुर्वेदा में 3 टाइप की बॉडी है, कफ की, वात की बोलते हैं वैसे. Generally, we have gone more into detail and we have found out around 9 types of body, and then each body has its own food, and each body has its own diet, and own herbs, and own medicine also. There are people we can find out just from the body exhibits who cannot, or whom aspirin is not compatible. Okay, before you take the medicine, there are certain symptoms which body exhibits, what we have studied, that we can find out some of the medicine what we have done studied for the heart and the kidney and the other medicines we have studied, as well as some of the range of food we have studied, compatible with your body and non-compatible with your body. Now these are the things which are giving or which are originating the diseases in your body. Before that, I will again say one or two things. There are certain factors in our body. We call it intrinsic factors and extrinsic factors. Intrinsic means they generate in your body itself. And extrinsic means they come from outside to inside your body. Those are the outside factors. And those are some of the factors are inside factors which are giving rise to the diseases. Now, if we talk about arthritis. Okay, if we consider arthritis as a disease related to the age. Okay, generally when you go to any of the clinician or any of the doctor, and if you complain of joint pain or something, what the doctors generally tell you is, you've aged or you are aging. That's why there is a wear and tear of cartilage and etc. If this particular problem is age related, then all the people who have crossed 60 or 80 should get the problem. But all of them are not getting the problem, and you will find that people who are in their 40s, they also get the joint pain problems. To the severe arthritis, severe rheumatic problems also develop at young age. So generally arthritis, what we look at is not the disease. Let me finish these slides first and then we'll go to the main session, because once we start with the session, we won't be able to. This is Navjivan is the name basically of our clinic. Dr. M.G. Desai जो गुरु हैं मेरे. This is what we do: heart, kidney, cancer, brain, and gangrene. Lot of things. Generally, we, with his age and with his experience, 40 years of experience in research into this field, we take only impossible cases. We don't take cases which are treated or which can be treated outside. We take cases which have failed outside. Those are the things which we are taking. These are the cancer cases which have failed and come to us basically and successfully treated, and they are stable for last many years. Okay. Many of it, hundreds of them in fact, and non-operatively they are being treated. These are the cardiac cases which have been treated over there. These interesting case is, these people, they have got low pumping. You know, pumping of the heart, normal pumping is 60%. And low means to the low extent to 10%. Below 10 it's dead body. So to that extent, people, you can't do surgeries in these people, you can't do anything because the heart is so weak. And invariably all of them, around 500 cases are recorded completely for the pumping. They have improved just in 6 months, they have crossed around 40, 50, they have come back to normal. Again, total non-operatively or heart cases. Around 25,000 cases of heart are being treated till now. These are the kidney diseases. This is kind of medical miracle. There are the cases, around hundreds of them, creatinine without dialysis. These people are saved from dialysis. We have got cases who have come back from 14 to 4. 14 creatinine to 4. And above 6, the person has to be put on dialysis. We are talking about 10, 12, 14 creatinine who have been reversed to nearly 3, 4, and they are stable with no signs symptoms of MRD. These are the brain. This is kind of again an area where most of the pathies have failed. Here we are able to succeed because of the dietetic care and because of the advanced science what doctor has found out. It's a molecular science which he has studied. These are some of the miracles. Can you see this? It's a gangrene. And this is the recent one. This is the reversal of the gangrene. This is also a gangrenous node and which is healed completely. Again, this one of the atherosclerosis, 100% blockages in both the arteries, veins in the leg, and it has come back. So now it's become normal.
So what does that mean, lower limb?
Lower limbs were blocked completely. The blood was not reaching. The blood vessels of the lower limb, how you get heart blockages, similarly she had blockages in the lower limb. And the operation was not possible because many of the limbs, many of the blood vessels were blocked. So what will you remove and what will you replace with? Okay. She was treated without operation with just the medication and dietetic care and etc. other things. And the reports become normal. This is also kind of impossible. The psoriasis you can see. Okay. Around 1 week treatment, that person has come out. This is also psoriasis. This is the second day case. These are the heart patients who have come with other disease and they have been treated along with that. Okay, let me go back to the main session what we are carrying out, arthritis. Now, arthritis is, as I told you, is not related with the age. It's not a hereditary problem. It's purely and purely your lifestyle and food related problem. We consider a case where a person who is into a marketing field is a person who is a housewife. Now suppose if a person who is into marketing field is eating outside food, the timings are not maintained, okay, say about a month he is outside, he has to eat outside food for 20-25 days. And another lady who is staying in the house, eating house food only, and living completely a different lifestyle. So generally, if that person is suffering from a joint pain or a diabetes or a cholesterol or any other problem, we pinpoint to his lifestyle, to his diet, etc. We pinpoint and we tell that these are the reasons, because of that he is suffering. But a person who is staying in the house, housewife can also get joint pain, can also get a heart problem, can also get diabetes, can also get cholesterol problems, can also get all the problems which this person gets, this person can also get. So what do we derive from that? If we try to ask the person to change the lifestyle, and the person who is already living a lifestyle is a housewife, taking house food only, then it is not being justified. The reason which we are pinpointing are not being justified for the causative reason. So what do? there has to be a third factor which has to be common between these two persons for initiating the diseases. There has to be a third person, third factor. Okay? Now, we consider first the extrinsic factor and then we consider the intrinsic factor. The problems which are generated inside the body, they are intrinsic, and which we put it from outside to inside the body, they are extrinsic. Now, all of us, we have biological clocks. Have you heard of biological clocks? Yeah. There are hormonal clocks, there are acid clocks, and there are enzyme clocks in our body. They are clocks. What do you mean by clock? It has to tick and come back to the same thing. Okay, that's a clock. Now, suppose if you have only one wall clock in your house, no other clock, no other watches to see the time, and it goes haywire by 15 minutes, what will happen? You don't know that it has gone haywire, 15 minutes early, 15 minutes late, and you don't know about it. What will happen that day? You will be late for your flight, you will be late for your train, you will be late for everything, for bus and for office and everything you will be late for. Okay? So, similarly, if body's biological clock, if there is a disturbance in body's biological clock, then this is the first thing which gives rise to the generation or the initiation of the diseases in the body. We talk about acid clock today. There are hormonal clocks and all that we have in another sessions. Now, what do you mean by acid clock? You feel hungry? Okay, your food is digested by acid. So, to understand acid clock, it's very easy to understand acid clock. You have to just fast for 24 hours. And your body will only tell you. Okay. Now, suppose if you are fasted for today, then at particular time in the morning, there will be a noise in the stomach. There will be a noise in your stomach. Now, you are fasting that day, so you are not supposed to eat anything. Just listen to that noise, and there is a pattern. It goes up, and after some time it comes down of its own, it vanishes. It starts a particular time, it goes to the peak, and after some time it comes down and it vanishes of its own, completely. Even though there is no food, you have not eaten anything, there is no food in your stomach.
Water you are drinking? Water?
Water you can drink. But I am just talking about this acid pattern. Okay. There is a noise, it reaches the peak and it goes down and it vanishes. That means you felt hungry and then the hunger is dying. Okay. Now you are fasting for 24 hours, but still that noise is not there for 24 hours. It is there at particular time only. So again in the evening that noise will be there, and if you check, all of you, if you check the time, it will be almost 10-15 minutes plus minus same. It will be the same time for everything. Why? It's a biological clock. So clock is a clock. Now, what happens? When the acid is released in the stomach, how much acid is released? Around 1.25 liters of acid is required to digest your 400 grams of food. So 1.25 liters, can you imagine? 1 liter Bisleri bottle? More than that. Okay, so that much acid is required to digest your 400 grams of food. So what is happening? The acid is released and you feel hungry and you eat your food. Okay, and the food gets digested into the acid, and after 40 minutes the stomach starts tilting, and whatever digested food is there, it goes into the second compartment, that is the intestine. Now in the intestine, the function is to absorb whatever is put in. So now the digested food is into the section where it is getting absorbed into the blood, and in the third part, large intestine, it is thrown out. Okay? Okay? Now, then what is going wrong? What time do you take your lunch? What time do you take your lunch, madam? 1 o'clock. And? 1:30. 2 o'clock, who takes at 2 o'clock? There are 3. 3 baje ki. Yes, there are 3. No fixed time. Okay, no fixed time. Then dinner? 7:38. 9. 10 o'clock? 10:30. Yes, 10:30, 11. And who eats next day? Okay, I have a neighbor whose cooker's whistle I listen about 10 o'clock, 10:30, between 10 and 10:30 night. Okay, and 8 years old son is suffering from hernia problem. The direct relation with his that whistle, timing of the whistle, and the problem of the child. Now what is happening? If you note the time of the acid release, you will come to know it is between 10:30 and 11:30 for everybody. And evening time is around 6 and 7. You know these Jain people, how they do? They eat early. Okay, like religiously they eat early. Now, what is happening? The acid is released at this particular time. The food is coming 2 hours late, 3 hours late, 4 hours late. And how much acid is released? How much acid is required? About more than a liter. So, produce that acid, body requires around 8 hours of preparation inside your body. Body takes around 8 to 9 hours to produce this much of acid. So early morning around 3:30 or so, the body mechanism starts. By 10:30, the body starts releasing the acid, and by 11:30, that acid starts going into the second compartment. Whatever is there in the first compartment, it takes on its own and goes into the second compartment. Now what is happening? Your food comes at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. That time acid is already gone into the second compartment. Now you are late by 2 hours, 3 hours. How much acid will produce? The body has to again produce acid to digest your food because we are acidic digestion. So liver has to overwork, stomach walls has to overwork and again produce acid and release. Now how much acid will you produce in 2-3 hours? 200-300 grams. How much is required? More than a liter. So what is happening? That raw acid is already gone down into the second compartment of the absorption compartment, where it is getting absorbed into the blood. And evening again, 6 to 7, your food is coming at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So again that acid is gone, whichever raw acid is gone down, it is getting absorbed into the blood. Around 2.5 liters of acid is absorbed into the blood every day. 2.5 liters. There are vials sold to dilute this acid, but they are working when for the leftover acids. When your food is digested, whatever leftover acid is there, 100-200 grams of that acid is being balanced by bile salts. Now, what you have done is 2.5 liters of acid you are pouring in blood. How much blood? 6 liters of blood. In 6 liters you are pouring 2.5 liters. What is the pH of the blood? pH of the blood. You know the pH word?
Yeah,
is the alkalinity or the acidity. Okay. What is the pH of the acid? 1.1 to 3.2 acid. 2 pH. You get that sour taste in your mouth, no? It's very sour. And the blood, have you ever tasted blood? Your own, not anybody else. Yeah? Yeah. What is the taste?
salty.
Salty. It's not sour. It's salty. Okay. Now, the salty blood has pH of 7.3. It's watery pH. Water has got 7 pH. Little alkaline than water. And this is acid. How much sour it is? Now that much acid, around 1.2, around 2.5 liters of acid is going into the blood. And what will happen to blood then? Acidic, it will start becoming acidic. Now the blood has started becoming acidic. Now where the acid will go? Now what this acid is? Okay. Now this acid is one which is digesting your food, means your roti, your vegetables, your rice, everything it is digesting. It is digesting eggs also, it is digesting fish also and meat also. Meat and your internal lining of the stomach, mucous membrane. Are they different? Different protein? Same protein. Meat protein and your stomach internal linings, okay, they are also muscles. They are same protein. So, if no food is there and the raw acid is falling on your stomach, what will happen? It will start digesting your internal lining. Your own acid will digest your own stomach. It will corrode the internal lining, which are the protective lining. And then there will be a burning sensation, there will be a pain problem, there will be, then the stomach muscles become so sensitive. If the protective layers are gone, then the muscle becomes so sensitive, when there is something falls on it and there will be a contraction. That is called as the acid will reflux, and you get a reflux of acid. That is the second stage of acidity. First stage is what it is disturbing your stomach lining. And second, when it becomes so reactive or it becomes reflection, that it reflects in your mouth. Then the acid is coming in your mouth. Now what is there in your mouth? Saliva and teeth. Okay, the saliva is alkaline to protect the teeth because teeth are calcium. Now to protect them, the saliva is alkaline in nature. Now this acid is making change in pH, it becomes acidic. Now that acid is basically corroding the teeth also. So people who suffer from acidity, they suffer from teeth problems, or people who have gum problems or the teeth problems, whatever problems, they suffer from acidity problems. Now, what this acid is doing, it is corroding the calcium from the teeth, and there will be a porous, and there will be the food will be stucking there, and there will be a putrefaction in the cavities, all these will be the next stage of that. First, this acidic pH, which is changing the pH of the stomach, of the mouth, is basically the reason for all kind of mouth problems, all kind of gum problems, all kind of teeth problems. Where the acid is refluxed from? In the throat area. So there will be a corrosion on the throat area also from inside. The mucous membrane will be corroded, and this will give rise to immunity problems, means cough and cold and all these kind of bacteria and viruses, they live in our body. But how do they get entry into the cells? Whenever there is a damage, then only they enter, then only they can penetrate into the cells. So people who suffer from acidity problem, they have all kind of throat problem, and they have all kind of gum problems or the teeth problem. Now, what will happen to the food which is coming after 2 hours, 3 hours? It will get only less amount of food, acid to get digested. So, what we call it, if the food is not digested properly, we call it undigested food. There will be a constipation and digestion problem. There will be a gas problem. Once that undigested food goes into the second compartment, which is alkaline in nature, in that area, it will get fermented, not digested. There will be a fermentation in the second compartment. So you have all your stomach problems, including constipations and this and that and gas problem, and at every level you have problem. You have problem here, you have problem down, you have problem at the stomach level, you have problem at the end level also. Now the acid which has gone inside your body, in the blood, where it will go? Now the acid is in your blood. Where the acid will go? Where?
The other parts of body.
Which all parts?
All parts.
Each and every cells.
Yeah.
Now that acidic blood will go to each and every cells, it will go to your brain also. When it is reaching your brain, it will irritate the neurons because it is acidic now. The blood is acidic, it will irritate. So you get all kind of brain related problems will start. The white hair problem will start if the acid is reaching the hair root, it is burning the melanin pigment and you get the white hair problem. If the acid, it is loosening the hair root they are losing. So you get hair fall problem. Acidity and hormone are the only problem for the hair fall. There is no other third problem. There are no outside factors which work on it. And what we do, we change shampoos and we change oil and we do all these things. But that 2.5 liters of acid every day is enough to give you a good amount of hair. And you get a headache problem also, we call it in pith. We call it pith, where the pith has come from. Acid itself is a pith. So you get a headache problem, you get a migraine problem, and over a period, whenever the damage is consistently going on, there will be a repairing calcification kind of problem, and then you have a bigger problem like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and etc. Those problems will be there after many years of following this damage pattern. Now this acid is going to the muscles also. Because blood is going to the muscles, so acid is also going to the muscles. So what is happening at the muscle level? Whenever you walk or whenever there is a muscle contraction, lactic acid is produced as an energy unit. It's well known fact. Lactic acid is produced from the glucose, lactic acid is produced. Now this lactic acid is released into the blood. Now blood is alkaline, it will absorb the lactic acid. But here what is happening? Blood itself is acidic. So it will not be able to absorb that acid. Something like if you want to make a lemon water, what you will do? Nimbu pani, what you will do? Water and squeeze the lemon, put little sugar, salt, okay, you can drink it. But to the lemon juice, if you put kokum juice, what will happen?
More acid.
Yeah, it will be so sour that you will not be able to taste also. So what is happening at the muscle level? There is already acid produced and there is already acid into the blood. This two acid and then it gives to a fatigue condition. You have muscular fatigue when you walk, or it do not recover fast. Acidic condition means the typical of that is when you try to sleep, after 5 minutes it will start pain. That is the typical of acidic problem. It starts paining. Why it pains after 5 minutes? Because this acid has a typical nature. When your body temperature goes down by 1 degree Celsius, it precipitates out, comes out. It's something like sea water. If you keep it in the fridge, what will happen? You will see a precipitation of the salt. Okay? Similarly, this acid precipitates out. Now, it is of the needle form. This acid you can call it uric acid also. You can name. Now we have to nomenclature the diseases and the problems. Now, the same acid will go to the skin also. Yes or no? Yes, it will, because the blood is going to the skin, each and every cells. It will go to the skin also. Now, what is happening at the skin level? It is disturbing the pH. Again over there, because acidic blood you are pouring into the cells. Now the skin becomes reactive. It will start reacting to everything. Now, what will happen now? You get rashes problem. You get the allergy problem. Next stage to that is the skin becomes so reactive, it will start reacting with the humidity also. And that disease, we call it as psoriasis, eczema and psoriasis. If you see the dictionary meaning of psoriasis, you will find that when your skin reacts to the humidity of the air, okay, is the psoriasis. So, what is the treatment for that? Either you remove the skin or you remove the humidity. You remove the air or you remove your skin, then only the psoriasis is treated. Whatever chemical medicine goes inside your stomach, liver has to produce more and more acid to digest those chemicals. Anything chemical, including your flavor, your fragrance, your preservatives, and fertilizers and your tablets and whatever chemical you are putting in your stomach, liver has to digest it by producing either enzymes or acids. So there is acid at one level, there is acid in the blood, and again there will be more acid from the liver side. So there will be 3 higher acid in your blood. And this will give rise to severe psoriasis. The more you try to treat it, the more it will be. Generally we use in final stage steroids. Okay. Now this steroids, whatever the creams and almost all medicines which are used to treat psoriasis are steroid based, because we don't have any option for it other than that. Now, nature of steroid is once you stop it, there will be an outbreak kind of. The next day there will be a double or triple amount of problem will be there. Why? 3-tier acid level, because liver to digest those chemicals, liver has to again produce more of the acid. So acid and more of the acid, and the main problem is because of what? Because of acid only. Okay, so you have a non-treatable, or you have a lifelong problem, or one lifelong disease you have. Keep on treating. Lexophages will go into that. Why that whole problem is generated? Why? We have cases. Yes, we have cases which are being treated from psoriasis just in 8 days. People suffering from 18-20 years of psoriasis problem recover just within 8 days. The body has a great healing power. Body has tremendous healing power by itself. Nothing in the world can help. No medicines can treat body in the actual sense. Antibiotics and vaccines and all these things, they can only support body. Reduce the bacterial load, reduce the viral load, stop the pain. Only this much they can do. Rest of the work body is doing by itself. But body's own intrinsic factors, the internal generated factors, they go so bad that body is not able to repair itself. That is the only reason we are suffering from diseases. Now, this acid is making so much of the pain in our body, so much of the pain problems and the skin problems and so many problems. So what body will try to do? Body will try to defend itself. So if you are suffering from acidity, what will you do? What will you do? Antacid? Okay? Milk or antacids or something like that you take. If you read the cover of the antacids, you will come to know the content of the antacids are salts. Zinc salts, calcium salts, magnesium salts, manganese salts. These are the salts which are the main content of it. So salt an acid reaction and there is a neutralization. It becomes water. So body is producing antacids in our blood to reduce the acid level. So what it will require? Salts. Okay. So calcium from your milk, iron and zinc and all other minerals from your vegetables and on your food, body will take it, okay, and body will produce salt and body will neutralize the acid. So it will try to reduce the acidic problem. Suppose your calcium is utilized for reducing the acid. How much? 1.25 liters. Okay. So your calcium is utilized. So what will your bones get? That day, what will your bones get? Or your iron is utilized to reduce the acid, or zinc is utilized. So what will your blood get? No? Today it is utilized, tomorrow also it is utilized, because tomorrow also you ate at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock and there was an acid, leftover acid, lot of acid in your blood and body has to manage with that acid. So next day also you were devoid of calcium and iron and all these things, though it was there in your food, you had eaten it, but it didn't reach the target area, it didn't reach the target cells, it was utilized somewhere else. What will happen to your bones, what will happen to your blood, what will happen to the other part, what will happen to your skin, wherever the minerals are required every day. So there is a deficiency, another set of big diseases degenerate in our body. It's called as a deficiency diseases. It's there in your food, you are eating also, but it is not reaching the target area, it's been utilized somewhere else because of your own internal intrinsic factors. So you have anemic condition, no matter you are drinking every day beetroot juice, every day you drink, gajar juice, carrot juice, every day you drink, okay, milk every day, twice you drink, but your bones are osteoporotic, they are going into osteoporosis. You have anemic condition, blood level is, hemoglobin is not increasing, okay. You suffer from a set of diseases which are related to the deficiencies, and then you are taking what? You have, the calcium is not reaching, what you are taking? Now that is the next step, I will come to that. Now suppose if you have fasted for 1 day, you have not taken any food, so what will happen to the acid that day? Not much acid is enough to trigger the cancerous cell multiplication. So that means that if we are fasting for 1 day, next day we should have cancer. Do we get it? We don't get it. That means there is another mechanism which is protecting body when we don't have food in our body. What body is doing, whenever acid is more, acidity increases, immediately it will start the parathyroid activity. Parathyroid is the hormone, behind thyroid is the hormone, basically is the gland which produces parathyroid hormones which regulate the calcium of the bones. Okay, they are the hormones which are a digging hormone, you can say that. Have you heard of vitamin D? Yeah? Vitamin D are required for calcium? Yeah. Now vitamin D are the hormones, they are not vitamins, they are hormones. They are produced by our skin. They are produced by our skin. Hormone kind of. How thyroid hormones are there? They are produced here, same way this hormone is produced by our skin. Now this hormone is a fixation hormone. It fixes the calcium and other minerals into the bone. Fixes. And parathyroid hormone is the hormone which digs it. It digs the calcium from the bone. Now what is happening? When there is a higher level of acidity or the pH is changing, body is very sensitive. It will immediately trigger the parathyroid activity, switch on the activity, and it will switch off the other hormone. Fixation hormone, it will switch off. Because now there is a need of taking out. So it will switch on this hormone. Now if that moment or if that particular time you are taking your blood report, what will be the picture of your blood report? Your body has stopped the fixation hormone. So what is the fixation hormone? Vitamin D? It will be at the bottom. Okay. Now what do we do that time when we have vitamin D less? We take vitamin D supplements, vitamin D injections and everything. Now you have to understand, see why we study, why we are so successful in treating diseases at the last stage also. You're getting our point, why we are able to literally bring people from the last stage. Because just understand simply that the body, the skin is not removed, the sunlight is not gone, It's the same, but still body has stopped producing vitamin. What does that mean? Body has stopped because it's not required. Something else is required, so body has triggered that, something else. So this is triggered, that is stopped. Now what is happening? It's digging and taking out the minerals to utilize them as the antacids, to make them antacid out of that and neutralize the acidic pH of the blood. Now, second, we take vitamin D as well as during that time, if we start digging this wall and take out that red cement and everything from that, what will happen to this wall? What will happen? Slowly you start removing. Corrode. Okay, there will be a small holes. If we start removing reti or if we start removing one particular thing out of it, what will be the structure will be there, but it will become porous. So the bones will be there, but once you start removing that molecule, calcium from that, other minerals from that, what will happen to the bones? It will become porous. So that particular disease we call it as osteoporosis. Porosis becomes, they are becoming pore-like. So if you are detected with osteoporosis, what is the treatment for that? Osteoporosis, what do you do?
Calcium.
Calcium. You are taking calcium. Okay, how much calcium? 500 to 1000 milligram of calcium bolus you are taking. Okay, you know what is the daily requirement dose of the calcium? 33.33 milligrams is the maintenance, daily maintenance, because you are grown up. Your height is stopped. After 23 the height stops. So body requires only maintenance level, just polish karne ke liye upar se outside. Maintenance dose is that much, and 1 meal is enough to give you that much food. 1 meal of your roti and sabji and all that is enough to give you that much amount of. So what you are taking? How much you are taking? 1000 milligram, 500 milligram.
40 times.
Yeah. So what will happen to that? Will it go into the bones? Because which hormone is activated? Fixation or digging hormone? Digging hormone. Because it's already acidic in your blood and you are digging it. So you are digging, hormone is there. Do you expect digging hormone to fix the calcium into the bones? So what will happen to that? Where the calcium will go?
Other parts.
Except bones, it will go everywhere else. What you are treating, you are taking that tablets for treating the osteoporosis, treating your bones. But it will not go into the bones, it will go everywhere else than the bones. It will be in your blood vessels, it will settle here and there, wherever it gets a place, it will stick to it. And blood vessels, if you have calcification, what will happen? What do you call it? There is one particular name. Sclerosis. Yes, atherosclerosis. Thickening of the blood vessel, stiffening of the blood vessel, because something else is getting deposited in your soft blood vessel. Calcium and these things, they are being settled. If the same thing goes somewhere in your brain, it actually doesn't go like that. There are body's own repairing mechanism where it, but you have one level, body is digging it. Number two, all your food minerals are into the blood to take care of the acid. Number three, what supplement you are taking is floating into the bones. It is not going into the blood because there is no hormone. Your 1 or 2 or 3 shots of vitamin D are not enough. 24 hours that hormone is being activated in our body. This hormone is switched off. So it will not go. And then you suffer from all other problems. You have kidney stones problem. Still time to kidney stone, there is a process for that. But you have atherosclerosis problem, you have your arteries and veins, and wherever they go they become stiff, your limb becomes stiff, other places become stiff. And heart, unfortunately it settles into the heart, then what happens? Heart blood vessels, and what happens? You have some problem over there, stiffening of the heart blood vessels, your calcification. We have seen people complete calcification of the blood vessels completely. With the X-ray, they glitter. Okay, this is the problem. Now, if so much problem, then body has another one more fourth level of defense. What will try to throw it out from your body, from the blood, from your body. Okay, so where that blood will go? Every 3.5 hours, the blood will go to the bladder, kidney. will filter. So now, where that acid has gone? It has gone to the kidney. Now what it will do to the kidney wall? Again it will corrode, it will have some damages over there also. And bladder, yes, it is saturated over there. So there will be some corrosion over there also. And to protect kidney and bladder, body will again start digging the minerals from your bones, and it will, because kidney once damaged is damaged. Here we are able to do at Navjeevan some part, around 50-60% success we have got in kidney diseases to reverse the kidney diseases basically. But otherwise kidney once damaged are damaged. To protect kidney, again parathyroid activity will start on SOS basis. It will start digging minerals from your bones. So what will happen to the bones? More porosis. And the moment there is a damage in your body, pain starts. Pain is a stimuli to indicate damages to the brain. The brain can repair it. Any pain. Any pain. If you get a cut, there has to be a pain, otherwise brain will not know, brain will not heal it. Okay. So whenever there is a bone damage or whenever there is a muscle damage or anything, the pain starts. So you have a chronic low level of continuous 24 hours of pain of the bones, particularly the long bones. And in that case, if you have hormonal problem, particularly ladies, if they have come close 40, they are entering into a menopause problem. Menopause, that hormone which is protecting the bone, which is covering up the bones, again it reduces. There is a lowering of that hormone. You have triple problem. You have acidic problem, already bones are going into a osteoporosis, you have hormonal problem also, again there is a cause for osteoporosis. So you have a lot of problem. Now, it has gone to the bladder. Now, in the bladder, if it precipitates out, what will happen? Bacteria and viruses, they stay there. It's home for them. The kidney and bladders are home for the bacteria and viruses. They penetrate and create pathogenicity only when they get entry into the cells. So there has to be a rupture of the cells. Now this acidic conditions, they rupture. See, there are crystals like needles, they rupture. So what do you have now? Maturation, burning sensation, heat. When you pass the urine, it's hot. Okay. And sometimes the bleeding, blood is also seen in the urine report. Sometimes the pus cells are seen in the urine report. Where all it comes from? This is the reason for recurrent urinary tract infections. You treat them with antibiotics, you treat them with some Cital or something like that, and again you have, after 15-20 days, you have again recurrent infection in the urinary tract. Now, when the minerals are thrown over there, this acid and the mineral, they react with each other and they form stones over there. So you have a kidney stone generation. Stones are generated. Stones have a particular nature. After every 5-6 months, there is another stone. You treat it now. After 4-5-6 months, there will be another stones generated in there. That is the nature of the stone. People suffer from a long period. From 3-4-5-10 years, people suffer from a stone. Now, how this acid is reached to the bladder or kidney? So blood vessel. Now understand, if it can damage the internal lining of the stomach, if it can damage the internal lining of the kidney and bladder, can it not damage the internal lining of the lumen of the blood vessel? It's a blood vessel. And the lining of the blood vessel. Okay, where the acid is passing, wherever it is touching. So there will be a damage and there will be a low level of inflammation. Chronic inflammation, we call it. Can get tested with C-reactive protein test. It's the internal lining which are, if they are damaged, you get that reactive protein. Now, the moment these linings are inflamed, inflammation is something, whatever damage, there is inflammation and pain. So inflammation gives it to, if it is inflamed, then what will be the, what you call it? Swelling. There will be a swelling. Swelling means there is a stiffness. Stiffness. So the blood vessels are becoming stiff. The moment blood vessels become stiff, it gives rise to a high blood pressure. That is called high blood pressure. Stiffness of the blood vessel is the high blood pressure. Again I am going. The moment your blood vessels starts becoming stiff, it gives rise to high blood pressure. high blood pressure is the indication of how much your blood vessels are stiff. If the blood vessels are soft, they are soft and normal, there is no blood pressure. If they become stiff and keep on becoming stiff, there are deposits, they become stiff more. If there are blockages, they still become stiff. So the stiffness of the blood vessel is directly proportional to the high blood pressure problem in your body. Okay, so another disease is generated in your blood. It's the pressure problem. Because the blood is flowing, that acidic blood is flowing through which blood vessel? Each and every 60,000 miles of blood vessels. Each and every blood vessel acid is flowing, and it is damaging the internal lining, and it is stiffening up because inflammation, and it's becoming stiff, so it is giving rise to the blood pressure. Now to protect, what body will do? Body is to do something to protect its blood vessel, because 60,000 mile repairing is not possible for body. So what it will do? Suppose if there is a glass filled with a lemon juice and there is a glass filled with water. I dip my fingers, after 1 hour what will happen? It will be some itching. The one which I filled it with the lemon juice. Yeah. Now if I coat it with oil and put it, what will happen? No, it will not happen. The body is producing oil. It is coating its blood vessels. Okay. Now that oil we call it as cholesterol. Cholesterol are the normal oil of the walls of the blood vessels. Cholesterol can never be zero. It has to be in the range. If you read the cholesterol report, there are range given. If cholesterol is bad, then it has to be zero. It's never zero. So there has to be a range. Now that cholesterol is present, it is giving softness to the blood vessel. Softness is because of the cholesterol. And if body is producing it more and coating it from inside, at that time you are taking out the blood report, what will happen? You have a high cholesterol level. And then what will you do? You will start taking the tablets, controlling your cholesterol. Okay. Now, what is the problem going on? There is a damage and body is repairing it. And what you are doing? You are stopping what? You are hindering the repairing of the blood vessels. You are stopping. That cholesterol tablet will go to your liver. The enzyme, there will be some mechanism, there is a mechanism with which it literally presses or it stops the formation of enzyme which is responsible for producing the cholesterol. The one before the enzyme which is responsible for producing the cholesterol is being pressed with this medicine. Okay. So what is happening? Cholesterol comes down to a normal rate, but HDL will never increase with that. Do you understand the LDL and HDL? Yeah. What is LDL? Low density.
Fat.
But what is the full form? Low density. Lipo. LDL. Low density lipoprotein. It's a protein molecule. It's not a cholesterol. It's a protein. And HDL is high density lipoprotein. So what is happening? Now, suppose there is a crack in this wall and I want to repair it. How I will repair it? Putting the cement. Am I going to repair myself? I will call those. Okay. Now those mistries will come and they will put the. If there is more damage than 2, 3, 4 people will come. And to handle these 4, 5 people, there will be a manager, supervisor. Now, if there is a damage, whenever there is a damage, the people, how they will take the cement and everything on their head and they will come and put it over here. Okay. Now, people who are getting cement and reti from the truck and putting it here, we call it as LDL. What do we call them? Because they are repairing. So repairing molecules are LDL. They are getting the cholesterol from the liver and they are sticking it at the damaged site. Okay, so they are LDL. Now whatever leftover is there, and after repairing whatever leftover is there, there will be some people who will be sweeping that off and putting back into the truck. We call them as HDL. What do we call them? Then who is good and who is bad? Both are required and produce on demand. Because there is a damage, both are required. So, if there is a damage, will the HDL will come to take out the leftover? No, because there is a damage. There is no leftover. So HDL will never increase no matter what oil you change, what food you eat, what medicine you take. HDL will never increase if there is a damage. You get always there is a misbalance of the ratios of HDL and LDL. Though you will be able to control your cholesterol, triglycerides with medicines, you will never be able to increase your HDL level with medicines because there is a damage still going on. It's not been repaired. When it will come up, when this work is done, and when there is leftover, take that leftover, body will. Okay. Now, suppose if that vessel, blood vessel, which is with taking medicines and with all that thing, we have stopped or we have hindered or we have disturbed the repairing mechanism of the body. If unfortunately that blood vessel is of your heart, what will happen? Yeah, there is some repairing is left. What if that blood vessel is of your brain or any of the vital organs? They are at risk. So, what we are doing by symptomatically treating our body, we are producing more and more risk. We are taking more and more risk basically by treating our body just symptomatically. Why the problem has occurred? Very simple, intrinsic factor. You don't have to go out for getting more big diseases. Okay, these factors are enough. So, and you are treating with more and more chemicals to your body. I am also from the allopathy side, but I am from the research side. So I have to study both the things. This clinical part as well as the research part. So we know both the sides of the coin. That is the benefit of it. For 15 years, that is the only reason I am into naturopathy. Because this is the reason why you are suffering. This is the only way you are able to come out or you will be able to come out of the diseases. We do require allopathy if somebody is suffering or somebody is dying with heart attack. We can't give some juices in his mouth. You need to give him medicine. You need to treat him as basis, right? But if somebody's arthritis, somebody from arthritis or diabetes or some chronic lifelong problems people are suffering, then your lifestyle, your intrinsic and extrinsic factors, they are the main role or they play the main role either to put you in a pathetic condition or to bring you out from that condition. Okay. Now, let's see how the reversal. Now, if there will be some leftover things, okay, now suppose in Diwali, we do cleaning of our house. Okay. There will be some leftover saman or some saman will be like something will be like that you clean it and put it back. You will not throw it also and you will not use it also. There will be some leftover or some unused things will be there which we keep it. My husband always tells me that this cooker box what you are keeping is consuming place of 3 lakhs rupees. that is the cost of that box. So in body also, what body is not able to throw out of your, either by digesting with your salts or by through your passing it through urine, whatever body is not able to digest or throw out from your body, that leftover acid body has to store somewhere. Otherwise it will be in the circulation, it will start irritating your neurons and there will be a sleepless night and insomnia problem and there will be a skin itching problem. Something will be continuously going on which will be, you will be in a disturbed condition. So body will collect it and put it in the storage. Now where is the storage inside the body? Is there a place in the skin to store? Liver is this much only. Now this much acid it will not get stored. This much and complex, very complex structure. Now, let us see where the space is. In the muscles, is there a space? Bones? And where the space are? Space. Blood? It's already in the blood. It's flowing. Stomach, it's gone inside long back. Intestine, it's gone inside. Into the body now. Bones? No. Stuffed with calcium.
Stomach?
Stomach gaya andar. No. No. Body will not risk that cavities, otherwise you will fall, you will not get a bone. There will be imbalancing in your
Really?
No, it's gone in. Liver, no, this much liver, it will not be able to store. There has to be a space. There is a space. Now if I open the door, where will be the space? If I open this door,
Inside.
it's at the side. At the side. So that side we call it as joint. So each and every joint, can I bend my hand from here? Can I bend it here? Why I can't bend it from here?
One piece.
One piece and there is no joint.
No space to.
There is no space to bend. There has to be a space. So this bone and this bone, there is a gap. There is a gap. So it can. So there is a gap. So each and every joint body is utilizing as a storage area. So each and every joint that acid and other things will be stuffed in. And this again, this acid has a nature of precipitating out when the temperature goes down by 1 degree Celsius. So it will come out. Now we call it at uric acid in the first stage. Okay. When you are getting up in the morning, the joint pains. Why? Because there was a temperature. When we sleep, the temperature goes down by 1 degree Celsius. So it comes out. Where it comes out? In the bony area, the joints. What is the structure of the joint? One bone, another bone. There is a cartilage, and there is a capsule on it. Okay. So now it comes out as a crystal or the needle. It will prick. And there will be holes. And this condition we call it as cartilage damage, because it is pricking and making hole, and we call it as osteoarthritis. Porosis is done, already done. Arthritis. Now it is the cartilage turn, so it will prick and it will break the cartilage. Is this possible at the age of 40? Yes. Any age. Now you understood. Any age. Okay. Otherwise it will not be there at all, or it will be there at any age. Till 23, body is into the growth stage, so body can repair it fast. Till 40, body is into maintenance stage, still body can repair it. After 40, you get wrinkles, the white hair and everything, so body is going into the aging stage. Body is not repairing it as fast, because body has to age. So the repairing also slow, and damage is every day. Every day you sleep. So what is the solution of that? If you don't want them to precipitate out, what you should be doing? Don't sleep. Temperature will not drop. So they will not come out.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
yeah, it is right. So is it possible? So there has to be a damage of each and every joint of your body. Each and every joint. Now you have to name whichever area is getting damaged. Either you call it as frozen shoulder, or you call it as knee, back pain, or the vertebral, etc. L1, L2, L3, whatever you name it. Whichever area is damaged, we give the name to that particular area as one disease we call it. It is the same for each and every joint. Damage is same for each and every joint. Now by chance, unfortunately, out of those 400, 500, 5,000 crystals, if one crystal come out like this and pricks the capsule which is covering up, what will happen? That capsule is like balloon, water balloon, which is keeping it wet. Cartilage doesn't, very slowly if you penetrate very slowly, what will happen? There will be a leakage and the fluid will come out and it will spread on the joint and there will be a swelling. We call it as rheumatic arthritis. It's an autoimmune disease. It's damaging, it's killing itself. It's autoimmune disease. Okay, so you have osteoarthritis, you have uric acid, you have osteoarthritis, you have rheumatic arthritis also, swelling. And in case of rheumatic arthritis, even the operations they fail because capsules are swollen. There is a swelling in the capsule. Capsules are damaged. They don't heal. Can you treat or can you operate a diabetic foot? Okay, why? There are lots of toxin over there. Body don't heal. Skin doesn't heal. Same way, when the capsule is damaged or it is swollen inside, if there is inflamed inside, it will, when you operate it, it will not heal. You have more problem. The operation fails. 50% of people, operation fails. Straight. Who have got swelling, if you try to operate, because that swelling, final treatment here or abroad in Japan, in America, wherever you go, treatment is only steroid. No other treatment for the rheumatic arthritis, only steroid. What is steroid? It works only for 6 seconds. It's a weep. Hits the cells and the cells start working. Okay, and the effect is there for 15-20 days, and again when the cells become tired, again the things stop. That is steroid. Now, all this problem, bag of full of problem, why it happened? Just because of one single reason is enough of your lifestyle. People who do not take breakfast, who take late lunches, who take late dinners, they invariably suffer from all these problems, including heart and brain problem. They do suffer from this problem, all of them. Now, how to reverse it? Already gave you the solution. You have to only correct your lifestyle. You have to eat when you are feeling hungry. That is it. The body is telling you when you are feeling hungry. We are not giving time. We are not getting time to eat at a particular time. So, there are 4 timings when the acid is generated. Basically, we talked about 2 only. About 100 ml of acid is released when you get up in the morning. 100 ml. You have to have something. A fruit is also enough. When you get up, that time body produces around 100 ml, because after about 7-8 hours of sleep, body becomes hungry. You don't eat in the night. When you are sleeping, you don't eat. So when body is getting up, it requires some energy. So energy is food. So to digest energy, to digest food, body will produce acid. Okay, so that acid you have to give something. Okay, so you have to take even a 1 fruit is okay. 100 gram, 100 gram, that is enough. Okay, and your lunch should be between around when you are feeling hungry, 10:30, 11:30. Not at 3, not at 4. And your dinner should be 6, 7. Before 7 o'clock, before sunset. Okay, if you will see in Jainism, they have made only one rule compulsory. You have to eat early before sunset. So if you eat at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock, are you going to eat at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock? Automatically you will be eating early in the day, otherwise you will not feel hungry only. Okay, the whole schedule will be fixed. If you see world over, Chinese and Europeans and everybody, they are super. Evening supper is what time? Around 7 o'clock, before around sunset time. We are the only one who eat late at night. We are the one who suffer from a bundle of problems. This is, I will call it a city problems. Each and everybody is suffering. My husband also suffers from his sugar used to cross 400, 450, because he used to come what time? Around 9 o'clock he used to reach home. Okay, then the whole system will go haywire. The whole system will be haywire. Everyone, each and everyone is suffering. Okay, so this is the thumb rule. Whoever wants to repair their joints. Joints are repaired at every stage, any age, from any stage. Yes, there are medical interference required. Okay, medical treatment are required if it is beyond food level. But still, food is so much important. This is one factor I have talked about. There is another factor. Okay, let's talk about that. There are 4 timings I already gave you. Morning, when you get up, 15 minutes that. Then around 10:30, 11:30. Then again at 4 o'clock, 100 grams of acid is released. And then about before 7 o'clock. Okay, these are the 4 timings must for your joint problem, for a blood pressure problem, for a cholesterol problem, for the acidity problem, for the skin problems, and whatever we listed till now, all the problems, for the vitamin D levels, for everything. Because they are chain reactions. It's one give rise to another, then again it goes on completely. It's the one and the same. They fall into one category of problem. Now, we talk about extrinsic factors, outside factors. That is the main research what we have done, basically. Now, what are they? Sure. Body type food, that is our research. Okay. That means what? I can't talk about it because it's your body type. We have to understand your body type, and we give a list as per that what you should be eating and what you should not be eating. Surprisingly, recently one of the patients who had come, and I gave a list of food to be avoided, and she had done allergy testing for that before that. She said yes, it's matching. So near about it was matching. She was allergic to so many things, and all those things we without pricking her, without doing any invasive thing, we could give her a list of food to be eaten and list of food to be avoided. Okay. So what we do is a list of food which we'll give you, okay, and that you should be eating, and some foods you should be avoiding. That is it. Okay. And what will be the end result of both the things? Around 80% of the problems are solved, including major problems. And whether people take our treatment or they don't take our treatment, whatever advices we give of this lifestyle as well as the body type food, combining it really working near to 80%, it is solving your problems. Any questions?
What are the 9 body types?
Ma'am, this body type you said, is it because now there is
Yes.
a new research about it, as eat as per your blood type?
No, it doesn't go as per
Doesn't
the
go.
blood type. Body type. This is special research what we have done at Navjeevan, and it is so important for the society that we have made free for the society. Whoever can walk in, we need only 10 minutes, our dietitians are trained for that.
Okay.
Come in, we give you a chart, what you should be eating and what you should not be eating, and that's it, and it's free for everybody.
Great.
Where
So-
is this?
It's in Borivali. You have to come to Borivali Center because Bandra Center next 2 months it will start. Yes, yes.
But this body type is as